A nice picture you posted, Jeremiah. Everything. And taking a live look over Sam Hatfield Stadium, where the Philo Electrics look to get another win after a dominating win just a week ago, taking on the Riverview Black Bears, who are winless in the past couple of years. Alongside Ted Snyder, Dylan Kearns with you. Ted, we have ourselves a football game here that, looking at it on paper, Riverview, a rebuilding program coming into this one. Only 2 seniors on their roster.
Yeah, it's been a struggle in recent years for the Riverview Black Bears. I liken their situation to what Zanesville is experiencing right now, just a complete coaching carousel and turnover at the coaching position. And that leads to inconsistency in coaching staffs and play styles and really low participation rate as a whole at the school. So they're struggling right now, to say the least. Through 3 weeks this year, they've been outscored 150-0. So they've yet to score a single point in this campaign. So if they can get any kind of points on the board tonight, would be working in a positive direction.
Yeah, points have been hard to come by over the past couple of years. They have not scored over more than 7 in a game since the 2022-23 season, so dating back a couple of years there. On the Philo side of the ball, it was all on the ground last week in their win, over 400 yards rushing. Quarterback Jack Lincecum, 5 touchdowns on the ground, over 250 yards rushing. Just a dominating performance from the ground game. What do you expect? Do you think they continue over with that momentum they built last week?
I would expect much of the same here tonight. A combination of Jack Lincecum, who you just mentioned, as well as tailback Slade Sprankle. Those 2 individuals can really create some problems for a defense. Lincecum, you mentioned last week, 250-plus rushing yards and 5 tutties. And we've seen Slade Sprankle here just 2 weeks ago, a game they lost to New Lexington here at Sam Hatfield Stadium, 37-20. But Slade Sprankle really played well. He was the outlier for the Philo Electrics on that night.
And you mentioned Jack Lincecum, the quarterback, that, just very impressive week just a week ago in their win. Just look, his dad, the head coach, Dirk Lincecum, now entering his 16th year here at Philo. We'll step aside as we're getting you ready for kickoff right here. You're watching high school football on South 60 Films. All right.
Back deep and receives the Black Bears. Number 3, Jeremiah. Talk to number 5, Clayton Schultz.
Getting ready to kick things off here. It's a warm night at Sam Hatfield Stadium. We saw the temps drop for a couple weeks for the early portion of this season, but it's a little bit hot here as we get things underway. And we will see Philo kicking off.
Electric's looking for their first home win on this campaign. They're 2-1 overall, 1-1 in league play, but both those wins coming on the road. Their only home game, a loss to New Lexington.
So that ball goes over the head, and it will be a touchback, as it was Jeremiah Kaku back deep. And we'll see the Riverview offense first thing as they get started. Mentioned the youth of this football team. Like I said, only 2 seniors, one's a lineman and one's Cameron Mobley, the wide receiver. And it is Gavin Huff, the quarterback, as they start things out in the I formation. Huff will give it to the fullback. A couple yards there on first down, as that is McGuire Wentz on the carry.
Riverview, we talk about their coaching carousel of sorts that they've had in recent years, and they're under the guidance of first-year head coach Tyler McKee, and I think he may be the one to build a resurgence in this program. He's a Riverview grad, and he's a former player at the school, so they took the same approach that Zanesville did in going out and finding a former player that really wanted to spend the time and rebuild a program.
So same play once again as this one goes to Wentz. And another big gain, just shy of the first down marker.
Very simple, simplistic in their approach in the first 2 plays. Straight ahead dives in the A gap, very simple to execute, and they've come up with 2 nice gains on first and second down, put themselves in 3rd and short.
So it's inches to the marker, not even a yard. I think you got to go right back to it 2 more times if you have to. And big fullback Wentz right behind quarterback Huff. He gets the tote again. He's stuffed at the line and driven back. He did not get the first down. In fact, I think he lost a yard on the play. So now it's 4th down and 1.
The Electrics D up to the challenge on that snap, as they saw that play 2 times in a row, and we're expecting that. Once again, we're going to see what Riverview opts to do here. They may just throw all the cards on the table, you know, with the condition of the program. They might just go for 4th downs. You just never know. We haven't seen this team play. Looks like they are going to go for it.
Play clock winding down, just 10 seconds to snap it. Huff will give it to the running back this time, and he is hit hard. I think he's short. And he is. So that's a turnover on down, as Cole Smith was short of the line to gain. And Philo with a big stop on 4th down. They'll get the ball in great field position to start things out.
Yeah, they're going to begin this possession inside the Black Bear 30. So a very short field for Jack Lincecum and company on their first possession.
You know, that drive for the Black Bears, they were moving the ball really well, and it got to those just the inches, and they weren't able to get it. But I'm sure some promising things to look forward to over on that sideline. You're able to get yards early on the first and second down.
That's a challenge if you're Coach Dirk Lincecum coming into a game like this. How do you energize your players and keep them in the game? And you're talking about teenage kids, and they see the win-loss record and the no points scored, and you got to keep them engaged and in the moment tonight. And I think Dirk Lincecum is quite capable of doing just that.
So Lincecum started him with a hard count. He was able to get 5 yards on the first down as it drew a penalty already without even running a play. Lincecum in the pistol formation. Lincecum will turn around and throw. It's a screen pass caught about the 22-yard line with a stiff arm, and working his way out of bounds, that was the receiver Grant Carpenter, the senior, able to get a couple yards on that first down screen pass. It's enough to move the chains. So they started one play with the pass. Lincecum motions the tight end. He'll turn around and hand. Space to the left side. Inching forward, diving for the pylon. And that's a touchdown. Slade Sprankle working his way in. It's 2 plays and 2 well-executed offensive plays that get them into the end zone.
Slade Sprankle from 12 yards out. opens our scoring here tonight, 6-0 Electrics. And a week ago, Sprinkle was outshadowed by his teammate Jack Lincecum. But let me tell you, number 2, Slade Sprinkle, may be the key to this team's success throughout the course of this season, because the biggest question mark I had prior to the season was how are you going to replace Talon Preston? He was a player who did so much for this Philo team over the past few years and played several different positions for them offensively. But last year, primarily a ball carrier. So it's nice to see Slade Sprinkle pick up right where he left off a year ago.
He's able to find the end zone on his first touch of the ball game, and this is a botch snap, and the holder will rush towards the end zone and get the 2. And the holder is Grant Carpenter, so he caught a screen pass and he inadvertently worked his way in for a 2-point conversion.
So less than 3 minutes in, Philo Electrics 8, Riverview Black Bears 0. I'm sure Coach Lincecum is going to breathe a sigh of relief, because in these lopsided matchups, like I said, sometimes it's easy for your kids to not be engaged in the game plan and in the moment, but they certainly seem to be there tonight mentally.
Yeah, Lincecum right after that walked right up to his long snapper and it was in his face. You know, that's, you know, you want execution in games like this. So
absolutely.
Sure, the 2 points are on the board, but they want everything clean and getting that snap down. That's something that could cost them later in the year.
That was a statement win a week ago from Philo on the road, 38-21 at a 2-0. That was a 2-0 Maysville team at the time that had beat John Glenn in week 1. We know John Glenn's a very solid team, so big win on the road a week ago for this Electrics team, and I think they're flying high with confidence right now. With our playoff format going from 16 to 12 teams per region this year, it's going to make them look a little different. The past 5 years, we've kind of had the experimentation of the 16 teams per region. From 1999 to 2019, it was 8 teams per region. Yeah. They expanded. They did a little experiment, expanded it to 16 teams for 5 years, and they think the sweet spot's right in the middle with 12 teams, the top 4 seeds getting a bye. And I agree with that as well.
So another special teams error as this kickoff by Cohen Davis goes out of bounds. So you will see the Black Bears take over with good field position for their second drive of the ball game. And we want to remind you, tonight's broadcast brought to you by the Community Bank. Now's the perfect time to join the Go Local movement by banking locally with the Community Bank. So ball in the 35. You know, Riverview has a really good soccer team.
They do.
You know, in terms of fall sports, they won a state championship. Like, everyone seems to go the soccer route instead of football. You would think they'd have good kickers. So they get into range, get some points on the board with, you know, maybe someone that plays both soccer and football that's able to kick for them, as the first down tote gets about a yard, if that.
Minimal gain on first down for Riverview. It looks like they are firmly committed to the run here early. They snapped the ball 5 times. It's been a run every time.
As you say that, they check in a couple receivers.
And we talked about it pregame. You mentioned it, Dylan, the youth. It's
right.
When you're trying to compete at a varsity level with mainly freshmen and sophomores, it's an uphill battle.
So this is a play action. Huff rolls out, pressure in his face. He's going backwards. He's able to escape out of it and try to make something out of nothing. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. I'd actually lost about a yard there, but great improvising by the young quarterback.
Absolutely. For as much as this team has struggled in recent years, you really have to admire and applaud those players who are still out there, showing up each and every day for practice, trying to get better. That goes for the coaching staff and the players alike, because there will be a time in the future this team makes a resurgence. You know, it wasn't that long ago that West Muskingum went winless in league play for nearly 4 years.
Right.
And look where they are now as a program. So these kids right now, you know, you got to stick with it and set a foundation for the future.
3rd down and 9, I formation. Huff rolling right. Has a receiver. It's dropped right off the hands of Hayden Spinks. He felt the pressure coming from him. Coming for him, I should say, as that brings up a 4th down and long. Punt situation now for the Black Bears.
Brings up 4th down. And confirmation for the Black Bears, number 23, Cameron Mobley. Back easy receive to the Black Bears, number 7, Aiden Mahon.
And Coach Lincecum calling it an early timeout here. Not sure he likes what he sees. Yeah, I think he had 12 players on the field.
Yes, he did. I just counted hats as you were mentioning that, and great recognition by Coach Lincecum. I'm not sure that 5 yards would have changed the mind of the Riverview head coach Tyler McKee, but nevertheless, Dirk Lincecum, his attention to detail is second to none. He
been on the field now. Aiden Mahon back. Aiden Mahon back deep, and he will drop it at the 35. Clear recovery, or was it? It looked like it was Xavier Shantz in there, but I believe Philo was able to retain possession.
It was Aiden Mahon on the recovery for Philo, and he was recognized prior to the game here, Dylan, for his individual accolades last spring as Division II state high jump champion, which is just outstanding. Congratulations, Aiden.
So we're not even halfway through the first quarter here, and there have been a handful of mistakes on the Philo side. They've had 12 men on the field, a botched PAT, a fumble on the punt, and they kicked the ball off out of bounds. So some things to clean up early in this one. They got an 8-0 lead as their second drive of the ball game gets underway. Lincecum looks right, he fires, he's completed to Mahon. Mahon's got the first, makes a move. I don't know why he didn't high jump there. He could have had more yards, but he got to the 50.
It was a great open field tackle by one of the few seniors on this roster, Cameron Mobley. If he wasn't able to make that tackle, it's possible Mahon may have made his way to the end zone.
So the ball over midfield. Turn around and hand to Sprankle. And
just
Sprankle
5'7", 165 pounds, but when he sees a hole he likes, it's like he's shot out of a cannon. He does not hold back. He's a very decisive and hard runner. I really like number 2 for Philo, Slade Sprankle.
Ball's called at the Black Bears, 44-yard line.
So 5 yards to go for the first here on second down. They go 4 wide. They motion a receiver. And Lincecum will throw in that direction. Pass caught. Past the 40, past the 30, before being drug out of bounds as that pass was completed to Jacob Savage, the senior wide receiver.
You can see with the Riverview defense, they're a little bit behind in reacting to a play fake or a quick pass. And that's just a lot of youth out there trying to compete with upperclassmen of Philo. It's very, very difficult.
To get motion involved, it creates a lot of confusion. And that's what they've done a couple times, moving a receiver in motion. So ball now on the 20, on the edge of the red zone. Lincecum all day to throw, wide open target to Mahon, just overthrows him. I believe that was a catchable ball, but throw sailed at a wide open receiver.
I don't think Jack Lincecum's used to having somebody that wide open. He kind of had to take a double take. I'm a little surprised Coach Lincecum's opting to throw the ball so much here to open the game.
Yeah, they beat him on the ground last week. And this is a pitch out to Sprankle. Sprankle with space. Makes a cut. He's got all day. And he runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Number 2 for number 2 as Sprankle finds the end zone.
Last week it was Lincecum in the end zone 5 times. Sprankle makes his second trip to pay dirt tonight. And it is 14-0 with the PAT pending, and Sprankle ran 20 yards without being touched right there, Dylan. He just weaved his way right through the Black Bear defense for his second score of the night. That's really the stage this program's in right now.
Then after you get that, you can start implementing your identity, what you want to do. I mean, it looks like they do have an identity of running the ball. It's just, again, the blocking and those little things. There's a lot of fundamentals that go into sports. And
sure are.
You got to notice those things and really work on them and hone them in before you can get going with anything else. 5:46 to play, quarter number 1, a 15-0 Electric lead. As Davis kicks this one away, and it will once again.
I think it got inside the pylon.
Snuck in.
That was about 2 feet away from being a kick out of bounds, but it did sneak just inside the pylon, so Riverview will begin on the 20 instead of the 35.
So last drive, the Black Bears went to the pass a couple times. We hadn't seen that on their first drive of the ball game, but I think they're trying to find a way to be more balanced. I think they were pressured into that as well with the long third down, but nevertheless, they'll get their third drive of the ball game right now. So Huff will turn around and hand to Smith.
Number 17, Cole Smith Booker.
Stopped at the line.
Number 8, Peyton Byers, and number 64, Dakota Kinney. No gain on the play, second down and 10.
Peyton Byers made the tackle for Philo. Held him to no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Riverview.
It's a warm night turned beautiful right now. Sun coming down here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. Riverview with a little bit of motion here as they will roll out Huff. He throws just out of the reach of McGuire Wernz, the fullback.
One of the few upperclassmen on the team. Some good size for a fullback, 220 pounds.
Yeah. We saw him go inside on the first 2 handoffs of the ball game. Was able to get about 9 yards on those. But they're forced into another third down and long.
It's third down.
Huff takes the snap, looks right. This time the ball is caught and hit hard. Driven out of bounds. Coming in to make the tackle there is Aiden Mahon, as Hayden Spinks got absolutely rocked.
First pass completed on the night for Riverview, however, and it's a modest gain, but we have markers on the field, Dylan. Ineligible player downfield is the indication, so that's going to negate that gain there on that pass play.
So that will move them back.
It's just the typical struggles you see from a team that's just going through it. You know, you talked about the soccer team. The Riverview soccer is always one of the league's best. Last year they were the state's best in Division II. But they got a world-class golf team up there this year, too, this fall, aided by the Gress brothers, Colton and Gavin. So it's not that they don't have athletes in the school. They're just elect to play other sports during the fall.
And are very good at them.
Absolutely.
They're calling it 4th down and 4 now as they move it. They're calling it 4th down and 4 now as they move it up a little bit. And this punt's away, angling towards the sideline, and that's where it'll go. Mark at the 44, maybe 45. And that's where we'll see the Electrics take over. Offensively, they scored on both their possessions so far. I think you can be impressed. They've, like you said, they've elected to throw it a lot more often than they've had in weeks past.
Especially coming off such a dominating ground performance a week ago on the road against Maysville. I figured they'd just kind of carry on that momentum into tonight. But it could also be a situation where Dirk Lincecum knows he has an opportunity to try some things out he may want to use down the road this season, or it may not hurt him in this specific game.
So they go with two bunch. All day to throw. Goes back to Carpenter. He's got a tough contested catch in the first down and more. Day to throw. Goes back to Carpenter. He's got a tough contested catch in the first down and more.
You said it, my friend. That was a world-class catch right there in traffic and nearly simultaneous possession, but it was Grant Carpenter who just ripped the football away. Ball delivered on the money by Jack Lincecum. It's a good opportunity to throw in some wrinkles that you may use in practice. You haven't had a chance to use in a game yet.
Right.
You're more comfortable doing it in a game like this.
Ball in the 34. Lincecum feeling pressure from his backside, able to get it off to a wide open Sprinkle. He's got room to run. Jukes forward and inside the 10. He was one split second away from picking dirt out of his face mask.
Yeah.
As he didn't even see the pressure coming on his backside.
That's a 25-yard gain on the pass play from Lincecum to Sprinkle. And he ran 15, 20 yards before a Black Bear was even in his vicinity. So the Electrics knocking on the door of the goal line once more.
So first and goal now on the 9. Lincecum loads right, fires, and complete for the touchdown. This time it goes to a receiver that we do not have on our roster.
Carter Crabtree.
Carter Crabtree with the touchdown. Not listed anywhere here, but he's actually number 3 on our roster, sorry. So Crabtree gets the touchdown, and that's a 21-point lead now for the Electrics.
And 2 weeks ago when we were here, we saw Jacob Savage make a few plays at the receiving position, but tonight it's mostly been Carpenter and now Crabtree. You know, they still have Aiden Mahan out there. They have really a nice cast of receivers here at Philo.
So the snap good, hold good, and the PAT is good by a mile. So.
He kicked, I don't know if you're, those of you who are familiar with Sam Hatfield Stadium, he just kicked that football over the concession stand, which is at least 20 yards behind the goalpost.
That'd have been good from a mile away.
That was a big leg. You know, over the years, Philo's been a team that's been blessed with a lot of great kickers over the years, and that dates all the way back to the 1980s. They just always seem to have a better than average place kicker, which can be the difference in a high school game a lot of nights.
So 22-0, our score still here in the first quarter. We want to remind you that tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fink's Harley-Davidson. Live to ride, ride to live. Fink's Quality Cars and RVs. Quick as a wink. Deal with Fink. And Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental.
22-0's our score, and we are not even out of the first quarter, my friend.
Right. 8 points away from a running clock.
Yeah.
Philo has scored on all 3 drives. Riverview to this point has turned it over on downs and punted both times. This kickoff is great by Davis as it takes the return man into the end zone, and I think he might have called for a fair catch. That was Clayton Stroll back there. Seems like the majority of the upperclassmen, and meaning juniors really, because there's only 2 seniors for Riverview, seem to be on the skill position side of the ball. You know, the wide receivers and DBs. Junior Stroll was able to take that one in for the fair catch, brings it out to the 20.
They do have one really good-looking lineman. They have a few, but one stands apart, number 77, Logan Frame. They have him marked at 250 pounds.
You could say he has a big frame.
Yes.
This play action, looking to the left, trying to get some yards on the play, is the quarterback Huff, and he's buried.
Yeah. Cam Stoner, big Cam Stoner, 6'5", 230, in the backfield causing havoc. He excels on the basketball court as well, does Cam Stoner.
Stripe. Just over 2 minutes left here, quarter number 1, 22-0 Philo lead. Only 10 seconds to snap it. Black Bears might have to burn a timeout here. Down to 5. And they're able to get the snap off. Huff with some running room to the right. Makes a juke. And he is hit and brought down. Maybe a yard, possibly 2.
And as much as they struggled with execution, to look on the bright side, they've only committed 1 penalty in the first quarter,
right,
which you kind of expect a little bit different scenario from a team that's so young. But they just that ineligible downfield penalty is the only penalty that's been assessed to Riverview in the first quarter. So
right.
Try to look on the bright side of things. If you're on the Riverview side, you got to find something to work on, to build on.
One second to snap it. They get it off just in time. Quick strike, incomplete, short of the receiver Stroll. So Philo will get it on the punt now. 4th down and 8. 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. It's been a long quarter. 22 points scored. Seen a handful of incompletions, which stopped the clock.
Cameron Mobley in punt formation, back deep to the Electrics, number 7, Aiden and Mahon.
Aiden Mahon back deep to receive this and had trouble handling the last one.
This is a great punt, spiraling. And that'll take that's inside the 30. Great punt.
Yeah, great punt right there. Aiden Mahon made a great business decision just to get out of the way of that one.
I brought up, great soccer program. There's probably kids that can kick balls at Riverview.
Yes.
So the punt definitely showcasing the leg strength.
Yeah, I was at that state final game last fall where Riverview won the state soccer championship, and they were playing a very, very good Worthington Christian team, and were able to come out victorious in overtime, 1-0. And that Crew Stadium went berserk. It was really something to see. I always enjoy watching MVL, either schools or individuals, hoist a state championship.
This will be a give to Sprankle.
Nearly 10, maybe 10. They might have. Looks like they're going to move the chains.
There's actually Peyton Byers on the carry. So the first time we've called his number.
Yeah, you just wonder what score Dirk Lincecum's comfortable with before he pulls his regulars out of this game. I know it's a little early. We're still in the first quarter, but it would just be heartbreaking to see one of their main players be injured and in a time when they're such a big lead.
Lincecum wants a pass. He goes down the sideline, throws it out of bounds. He was looking for Mahon, and he had a step, and he had all day to go to the end zone, but just let him out of bounds.
Yeah, he had a few steps on his defender, and Lincecum just delivered that ball a little too far to the outside.
Second down at 10. And it will be a pitch. There goes Byers. Byers with some space. He sees a crease to the outside. Stays up. Tackled about the 41. Big gain as that goes for about 19.
And Byers picking up where Sprankle left off. Finds a lot of running room on that right side.
Pushing forward, staying on his feet to the 15. Great throw and catch. That one going to Jacob Savage.
Savage, first reception of the night. Called his name several times 2 weeks ago against the Panthers. His first catch in this one. Goes for a first down for the Electrics.
Hurry up offense for the Black Bears. Another throw, and that one's incomplete. Looking in the direction of Mahan. I don't think a defender got off the field for Riverview. I don't see a flag down. So there was no whistle. You might not have seen it, but a Black Bear was running his way off the field, and he was still both feet on when the ball was snapped. Second down and 10 from the 15. Lincecum pitches to Byers. Byers with some running room. He leans forward, and he is in for the touchdown. So the
Byers,
Electrics getting it done on the ground again.
from 15 yards out. This time they run it behind the left side of the line, and Byers kind of launched from about the 2-yard line, sacrificed his body to get in the end zone. Now it is Electrics 28, Riverview 0, and Philo's going to kick the extra point here. Thought maybe they might go for 2 here and push it to 30.
Kick is up and good, and that one's going into the river. Another big boot from Cohen Davis. Kicked that one to the parking lot. So 29-0 is just seconds off the clock here in the second quarter. 1 point away from a running clock. Coming up at halftime, we got the band performances. Riverview Band bringing some energy over on their sideline. You got the band and a handful of fans on the opponent bleachers over there. Davis getting set to kick this one away. Riverview will try to get the ball across midfield for the first time all game. Another big boot. Inside the 2. Out comes the return man. A little bit of running room, and there's a face mask.
Yep, see 2 flags come flying in there, and definitely was clearly visible even from our vantage point. It wasn't Electric. Got his fingers inside the face mask. And that's going to give the Black Bears another 15 tacked on to that return.
So that was Kaku on the return.
It's going to should take the ball out near the 40-yard line. Big game going on at the Rock tonight, my friend.
Yeah.
West Muskingum, New Lexington. It's been the main. We have some fine coaches in this league. We have some fine coaches in this league. Cam West thrust back into that role this year at Tri-Valley due to circumstances, unforeseen with the unfortunate passing.
So this will be a turn and hand to Wertz. A couple yards there. And Chase Bowman, how about the job he's done so far at Maysville? He's 2-1, but win the first 2 games and a new stop, taking over for another good coach and Coach Clark over there in Maysville.
Yeah, he's got some good pieces to work with this year. Landon Iden, Cade Rock. Yeah, he's got some good pieces to work with this year. Landon Iden, Cade Rock. Several players from last year's state championship basketball team also play football, so there's no shortage of athletes at Maysville.
Third down and 6. This is Smith. Not much running room. He'll get a few.
Yeah, it's going to bring up about a 4th and 4 near midfield. You expect Riverview will go for this one.
You would think. Not much going offensively. If you can get 4 yards here, you get into enemy territory and might give yourself a chance.
Just as a coach, you got to put yourself in his shoes. I mean, your kids execute a 4th and 4 against a good team. Even something that small can energize your team and give you something to build on going forward in this game.
And it looks like they are going to punt. Griffin Harper back deep, sophomore. And a good punt. Harper catches at the 20. Harper's got some room. He's past the 40, stays on his feet, and brought down about where the ball was anyway. So a big return from the sophomore as Harper makes his name known early in this one.
Philo going to go back to work offensively. We'll see if Sprankle comes back out or we're going to see more Peyton Byers. I didn't see much of a difference between those two. They were both very quality runners.
Both had tons of running room. Both have a touchdown. Sprankle's got 2.
Yeah, Sprankle's back out there for this series.
It's got to be a nice luxury to have if you're Coach Lincecum. Kind of plug and play with who you want in the backfield. And that wasn't even a hard count. Riverview jumps, second time today. They jump on an encroachment. Philo does the thing that I noticed Tri-Valley did in years past where they get up to the line real quick, they'd sit, and then we saw Max Lyle turn around and look at Coach West, and he'd stare at the coach. It's something that Lincecum's doing, and when he did that on that last drive, or that last play, that's what got the defense to jump offside. So it wasn't even the fake snap. It was just that motion. Quick screen pass out and off the hand. Second drop of the day for Mahon.
At least that may be the third by my count. He's visibly frustrated down there. He has dropped a handful of passes tonight that were certainly catchable. He's kind of beating himself up. He just needs to settle down. Back in the game. Get your head back in it.
It's one of the toughest things to do in all of sports is when something doesn't go right, how do you erase it and get ready for the next play? Second down and 5. This is a pitch. Sprankle with speed. Lowers the shoulder, trucks a defender, and gets into about the 31.
Yeah, he ran over a linebacker there. It's number 17, Cole Smith. Sprankle, for his stature, 5'7", 165. He is not afraid of contact. In fact, he brings the hit to the defender.
He reminds me of an old Falcons, I shouldn't say old, just a couple of years ago. Devontae Freeman, a little 5'8" wrecking ball with some speed. He always ran hard. This is a screen pass. This time it's caught by Mahon.
I love the call. Coach Lincecum goes right back to number 7.
Gotta trust him.
Let's get this kid's head back in the game. Just those little things right there.
So 2nd down and a yard.
Gain of 9, 2nd down, 1.
Mind you, one score will take this into a running clock scenario. Sprankle works his way to the 15.
More than enough for another electric first down.
Sprinkle the ball carrier.
See the Electrics starting to be a little more methodical in their approach here offensively in this quarter than they were in the first quarter. A little slower tempo, a few more running plays sprinkled in.
Or should you say sprinkled in?
Sprinkled in. Great pun, my friend.
1st down and 10. Lincecum all day. Fires. Pass caught by Mahan. Mahan goes forward into the end zone. So he redeems himself after a drop and gets rewarded with a receiving touchdown. And the Electrics pouring it on here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, we're not even midway through the 2nd quarter, and the Electrics now up 35-0, PAT pending. So now we will have a running clock starting the next possession, and clock will only stop for referee stoppages, injuries, and the quarter breaks, and timeouts, of course.
Kick is up and good. 36-0 the score. Just a big win, I think, in terms of confidence last week for this Electrics team. You know, they solved Maysville, started out the season strong. Coach Bowman over there with a 2-0 record, and Philo saw that. They came in 1-1, and they didn't blink. Went on the road, found a good way to win that ball game, and I think that builds confidence. Now you get to kind of air out yourself with the passing attack against a Riverview team, and you can kind of find yourself and start believing more.
I agree. And the road doesn't get any easier for Riverview. They're unfortunately in the big school division in the MVL, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me in many different ways, because they reevaluated 2 years ago and the new changes began. Maysville went from big to small. Morgan went from small to big. That was the only change. But Riverview is a much smaller school than Maysville. They have a lower enrollment. They play in Division 5 in football, whereas Maysville's a Division 4 team. And I just think for overall competitive balance, Riverview right now belongs in the small school division.
Yeah.
With Crooksville, Coshocton, Meadowbrook, New Lexington, and West. That's my opinion, but.
So 7:06 here in quarter number 2. This one drilled right at Kaku. And Kaku gets across the 30 before he is brought down.
Jeremiah Kaku on return for the Black Bears.
So that clock continues to wind.
Talk to the Electrics, number 17, Chevy Bailey. And number 32, Griffin Harper.
Here come the Black Bears offense from the 34. Carry to Wernz. Wernz has been their only offense at this point. He's had a couple nice 5-yard gains a couple times in this ball game.
Talk to the Electrics, number 8, Peyton Byers.
One of the few times they've been ahead of the chains here tonight. 2nd and 5, so can do a lot of different things on this down distance. That power eye backfield and that big fullback. They're built to run the football, this team is.
And they will do just that. Close to the first down, as that is Ezekiel Kaku. So both Kakus involved in this one. This one, the freshman.
Although the first and second down plays went for minimal gains, they're in a 3rd and 2, and probably more of the two of the better or more successful looking plays of the night. The blocking was executed perfectly. The running back hit the right gap. Just Philo defense is just, they rallied to the football very, very quickly. Philo, you know, their head coach Dirk Linscomb, his run, I can see that's left this very few seats. And I can see that's left this very few seats available on the home side, even for a game like this, which is very cool to see.
This is a quick pass, caught for a few yards. How about that? Huff completes it to Dylan Wright. So 2nd down and 8.
That's the first completed pass.
Yeah.
Second, maybe the second. I think the first one was negated by penalty.
Right.
Ineligible man downfield. So technically that will be the first catch of the ball game for Riverview.
Seems like their whole offense operates under the I formation. Kind of an old school approach. That one gets out quick and gobbled up. Clayton Stroll is the one with the catch. Be stopped right at the line. So now it brings up a 3rd down and 9.
See Rusty Trout, one of the defensive backs for Philo, trying to walk off some sort of injury, limping a little bit after that last defensive play. He's going to stay in the game, it looks like.
Brings up a 3rd down and 9.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field.
I think the timeout was called by the Riverview side.
So the clock's going to stop momentarily for the timeout. But quickly moving second quarter now that the clock continues to run. 2:21 remaining before halftime. And get to enjoy the bands as we do each and every Friday night.
Oh, yeah. Who's been your favorite so far?
You know,
not that we're supposed to have favorites.
Week 1, Fairfield Union.
Yeah.
They had a great band.
I was impressed as well.
I still remember that. And it seemed like they had more people in the band than on the football roster. Just a gigantic band.
I'm with you. That'd be my vote as well.
I know I've heard that Lakewood has an outstanding band too. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing them, but I've heard from several people that it's worth going to watch a Lakewood game if for nothing else than to see the halftime show.
Nice. Electric showing blitz. And this is a reverse. For the Electrics was Griffin Harper. So he had the big punt return earlier and almost had an interception.
I got to tell you that defensive stand right there, that play defensively for Philo, they're going to look back and on tape and see how good they did right there. 3 different levels, both responded immediately to the action. There was a double reverse pass. So great discipline and recognition by the Philo. Again, Riverview had just 10 players on the timeout to not lose 5 yards. I think they have delay a game right there.
Yeah, delay a game penalty. They tried to get the timeout off, but did not.
Yeah. So delay a game was the call.
So this punts away. Here comes Harper. Harper with some speed. He's got a block. He needs one man to beat, and he doesn't. As that one, the ball goes out of bounds about the 43. 30 seconds, but a running clock. This will probably take us to the halftime break.
Yeah, I'm not sure Philo even is going to run a play here, as it won't be necessary. The play clock is turned off, so looks like we're going to head to the locker rooms and regroup for Riverview and touch upon some things to do in the second half if you're the Electrics.
So that'll do it for the first half of action. The Electrics 36, Black Bears 0 here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. It'll be the Electrics returning the second half kickoff. We will step aside, enjoy the band performance at halftime. You're watching high school football right here on South 60 Film.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the 2025-2026 Riverview Black Bear Marching Band. The band is led on the field by drum major Shane Davidson. Band captains are JT Allison, Natalie Houston, Carson Hope, and Connor Mercer. The band is under the direction of Mr. Keith Watson and Mr. Mark Wagner. Color guard advisor is Mrs. Lisa McCoy. Tonight, the band will perform parts 1, 2, and 3 of our contest show, We're Not Gonna Take It, followed by the Hey Song to feature our color guard. and Mrs. Cox and the Philo Band for sharing halftime with us tonight. Best wishes to them as they compete this season. A special thank you to Mrs. Hemming and the Riverview cheerleaders for their weekly fourth quarter cheering session with us. The Black Bear Band sends best wishes to Coach McKee and the RV football team as they compete this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the most electrifying band in the land, your Philo High School Marching Band. The marching band is under the direction of Aaron Brenning, Assistant Director Amanda Cox, Percussion Instructor Zach Brenning, Color Guard Instructor Darcy Robinson. Leading the field is Field Commander Cooper Valentine, assisted by Corps Captain Reese Lambert. We ask you to refrain from Next, the band performing On Top of the World by Imagine Dragons. The Philo Band would like to thank the Riverview Band for their performance tonight and wish them luck in their
Welcome you back. Half number 2 right here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. The Electrics off to a 36-0 lead. Start this second half with a running clock. We've seen a handful of rushing touchdowns, which was a theme last week in their win against Maysville. You got 2 on the ground from Slade Sprankle, another by Peyton Byers, and then, of course, the receiving touchdown to end their last drive, as that one went to Aiden Mahon. So both in the air and on the ground so far in this ball game. As for the Riverview side, only 1 first down.
It's been tough sledding for Riverview offensively, and Philo has not taken their foot off the gas pedal up to this point, as they have shown a good balance of run and pass, even though they're ahead by so much and with the running clock to boot. They're still electing to mix it up offensively, but things may change here in the second half, as I just question how long we're going to see Jack Lincecum, Slade Sprankle, and the rest of the starting cast.
Yeah, they will get the ball to start the second half. So if the lead wasn't enough, they get to start to add to it. Got some Van Halen on the scoreboard out here.
Yeah, they do it right here at Philo.
Had some AC/DC also going on. So not only do you get the bands, but you get the classic rock. It's a given. You got to play Thunderstruck here, right? The Electrics.
Yeah, good point.
So a dark night sky now as the temp starting to cool as we enter the second half. Again, if the second half feels a little faster, there is a running clock. It will not change unless the Black Bears are able to cut into a 30-point deficit at some point in this second half. Back deep for the Electrics is Harper, and Harper fields it at the 15. And he's got it across the 35-yard line, and that's where this Electric offense will take over to start the second half. I've been impressed with this Griffin Harper kid. Made a nice play on defense. He had a couple punt returns that went for 20-plus yards both times. Just a sophomore. I bet he sees some more work here in the second half.
So we are going to have some new players out here offensively, Dylan. Looks like Audie Buchanan, young sophomore, 6'2", 260 pounds, is going to take the snaps for Philo.
And the aforementioned Harper in the backfield. He'll turn and pitch to him. He's got some space past the 40 and leans forward. I don't know if he's got the first down. He tried sneaking it in before stepping out of bounds.
Give him 9 on the first down carry. Bring up 2nd and 1. And we'll probably see a heavy dose of a run attack from Philo here in the second half, I would expect. Some of these backups getting valuable experience and playing time in varsity game here for 2 quarters.
Buchanan turns, throws, pass complete. With some space to run, a stiff arm. He's across the 20, across the 10, and into the end zone goes Rusty Trout. The Electrics strike again.
Wow. 90 seconds into the third quarter. Second play from scrimmage for the Electrics. Buchanan hits Rusty Trout on a slant route, and Trout does the rest.
I want to remind you, all year long, you can catch high school football action right here on South 60 Films. Be broadcasting games sometimes a couple a week we got going on throughout the course of the season. The MVL, see some Zanesville, sprinkle in some other action around the area. We got you covered right here on South 60, both YouTube, Facebook, wherever you go. Like, subscribe, and tune in. It's fun.
We're gonna see this Riverview team again a week from tonight. Our first trip to Whirlwind Stadium this year to see the Tornadoes next week. Excited to see what the Tornadoes have to offer for this season. I know Graduation hit them as hard as anybody in the league. Jake Anton, Carter Winland, the two most prominent losses for West Muskingum.
They're down 27-0 against New Lexington tonight. So barring anything unforeseen, they'll look to bounce back next week. And a deep kickoff, fielded by Kaku. And he is tackled just past the 20. I think he's got the best name in the MVL.
Yeah. There's two of them. Must be brothers on
brothers.
the team.
Number 1, Christian is south on the top of the electric.
So just like the offense for the Electrics, the defense has got the backups in the game. We don't see any of the regulars out there. No Camden Stoner, no Rusty Trout on defense.
Here comes this Riverview offense. A quick pass. It's a double pass. Trying to hit him deep. He's got a receiver, and it's dropped. Almost a big play, as that was a double pass. It went initially to Clayton Stroll, and he tried to find a receiver deep, but it fell incomplete.
That was your guy, Kaku.
Yeah, Kaku.
He dropped the easy one. He was thinking about 6 before he corralled the football. A big break for Philo. You can put that one in the drop column for Riverview.
That was one of the most creative play calls. We've seen a couple of them so far from Tyler McKee, head coach of Riverview, trying to sprinkle in some shot plays. This is a 2nd down and 10. They will turn and hand off. This is Smith. Not much running room there.
Number 17, Cole Smith, the ball carrier.
Yeah, that was Cole Smith. I know about 3 years ago, Philo's quarterback was Hunter Smith. I wonder if that's a relation, because I see Hunter Smith as a member of the coaching staff for Philo. He's already an assistant coach, so he moved from player to coach rather quickly.
Yeah.
Did Hunter Smith, but he was a really good player on both sides of the football while he was here at Philo. I just got to assume Cole Smith is a brother or a cousin. We don't know for sure.
3rd down and 8. Huff looking downfield, fires wide open receiver off the hands. Had tons of daylight ahead of him, as the second drop on this series is that was off the hands of Spinks.
It's just hard to watch the struggles of a team that's going through it. It's you want something to break in their favor desperately.
That was such a well-designed play again. The X's and O's are working. It's just getting the Jimmies and Joes to catch the ball. Execute those drawn-up plays.
Number 32, Griffin Harper.
This punts away. Fair catch called for at the 45. That's where we'll see the Electrics take over for their 2nd possession of the 2nd half. You mentioned Philo, former players going from player to coach real quick. Grant Moore, this is a handoff, and lowering the shoulder. In about 8, maybe 9, is Nick, or rather Christian South on the carry. You know, when you go into a game to broadcast, you highlight the players you know you're going to talk about. Then all these backups come in, and you're like, all right, I'm looking for the highlighted name, but it's a completely different person on the sheet. Buchanan pitches out. And being able to shrug off a few tackles as there goes South. Got it to the 40.
Riverview had that play bottled up in the backfield, and it was just individual effort. by the electric ball carrier, Christian South, to make something out of nothing and actually gained a first down.
South, he's named after our network.
That's right.
First down and 10 on the 39. Sorry, Caden Loy. 6 and 8 look very similar.
7 yards to gain. See what Coach Linscomb elects to do here. You're kind of in that no man's land territory.
Right.
Ball sitting at the Black Bear 36-yard line. So a little too close to punt, a little too far to kick a field goal.
.20 seconds remaining in the quarter. 4th down and 7. Buchanan takes the snap. Fires to nobody, who's trying to go in the direction of Hunter Hofer, but it falls incomplete, and Riverview will take over.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there between QB and receiver.
That will do it for quarter number 3. 43-0 our score here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. The Electrics pouring it on over the Black Bears. We'll step aside and bring you 4th quarter action. You're watching high school football right here on South 60 Films. Quarter number 4, here comes the Black Bears offense. Play action. Blockers just assume that it's going to be a run, or the quarterback doesn't have enough time to get rid of the ball. So the more you hold the ball there in that situation, could put you behind the sticks and cost a penalty like what we just saw. As Smith on the carry gets a few yards, it'll be still 2nd and say 12.
Yeah, like I said earlier, though, I have the utmost respect and admiration for these Riverview players. To continue to show up and try to get better each and every day and come out here and play these games. It can't be easy. I give them a lot of credit as teenagers to have that much mental fortitude to stick with it.
Huff wheels it out left, and I would say forward progress, but I think the receiver decided to go backwards a few steps, as that was Jeremiah Kaku.
Pass complete, number 3, Jeremiah Kaku.
It's been a familiar name on both sides of the football, so something to look forward to possibly if you're Riverview, as Kaku is just a sophomore.
Yeah. A couple of years from now, you might be seeing Kaku as one of the top names in the MVL.
With all these freshmen and sophomores on this team, if they stick with it and grow with this new head coach and his staff throughout the next couple of years, they're going to find a way to win some games.
And there goes Huff. Huff hit hard.
Oh, yes, he was.
Wow, 2 Philo defenders closing in. One got the legs, one got the top.
Yeah, his lower body kind of bent in a strange direction. He's going to come off the field. He's walking off under his own power, but
that was a shot.
Yeah, he was there was a tackler engaged low, and then a second Philo defender came in and hit him high, and it kind of torqued his body back in a weird direction.
Really sent like his core and oblique kind of twisted.
Yes.
As he got hit up high. So it is a 4th down. High snap, and he's not got much room to run as he's drilled. Big special teams play by the Electrics as Mobley really had nowhere to go, tried getting the punt off, and for defenders right in his face. And on that,
but that pass rush got on him quick. Tried to get the kickoff, but was unable to do so. Now Philo is going to start this drive at the Black Bear 30-yard line, and I just peeked at the New Lexington score. They scored again, 33-0 down at the Rock in the 3rd quarter, and that is going to be an eye-opening score for folks around the area tonight when they see that score. I'll tell you what, New Lex came in here 2 weeks ago and beat this Philo team 37-20 on this field. So
yeah,
that Panther team is for real.
This is Harper. Doesn't get much on the first down tilt. Brings up 2nd down and long.
New Lex and Philo both compete in the same region in the postseason, Division 4, Region 15. We all know defending state champion Indian Valley looms in this region, so oh boy.
Tough.
Yes, very tough.
Road ahead.
Yeah. Indian Valley shut out Steubenville 2 weeks ago, 30-0. And if that doesn't raise some eyebrows, then nothing will.
Botch snap. Buchanan's going to actually get a positive gain out of this. He stays on his feet, and he's into the end zone. So a snap that goes off the quarterback is fielded by him, and he takes it all the way to the house.
I tell you what, this Audie Buchanan showing some real athleticism.
The sophomore 6'2" quarterback. Got some wheels to him as well. So that makes it 49. A PAT will make it 50.
He was able to keep his balance and turn the corner in the process and outrun the entire Riverview defense on his way to the end zone. So 49-0. The Riverview scores through 3 weeks: 46-0 against Garraway, 56-0 against Ridgewood, 48-0 a week ago at Crooksville. And that theme is continuing tonight as the Electrics now go up 49-0. That means through 3.5 games, or almost 4 games, Riverview's opponents have scored 199 points, and they have yet to score.
That PAT was missed by the freshman Gage Stoner. I want to remind you tonight's broadcast brought to you by Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to.
Winning 50-50, blue ticket 455-942. Come to press box.
So just under 5 minutes here in the final quarter of this ball game. Despite the big lead, that Riverview band and cheerleaders, they're firing up everybody over there. Here's Kaku. Kaku is hit hard. The ball comes out.
And a flag comes flying in from way back behind the play. I'm curious to see what this is. Has to be a personal foul of some sort.
Yeah.
As he I mean, that official was 40 yards away from the action, and he absolutely launched his flag right at the scrum. Let's see. I was curious to know what he saw that the others didn't that were closer to the action. Personal foul. They just called personal foul. They didn't give any specifics.
Just some extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
And not kinds that give you extra credit or help you with college enrollment. So that will put them right about the 5 or 6 yard line. They mark at the 5. Tough field position for the Black Bears. New quarterback in the game. They turn around and hand off to Smith. He's been a busy man all night, and he's had no running room all night. Stopped right at the line. So we mentioned a new quarterback. Huff is not in the ball game. We mentioned earlier, AFC, and he took that big shot on their final offensive play. Got twisted up. So now it is Xavier Shantz taking the snaps at quarterback. Here's Smith. Not much running room. 3rd down and long.
Electrics, number 33, Taylor, Eric. Third down, 8.
It's under 2 minutes to play. And this will be a pass. And there's a little bit of a miscommunication. I tell you what, if Shantz was able to hit the wide open Stroll, he could have strolled his way into the end zone. Not much running, or no one else behind him.
Attempt number 5, Clayton Stroll.
Lineman is running on late. We'll punt this away. We're under a minute now. And a timeout called by Riverview.
Third and 8, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. I just wonder what this conversation's about here. 46 seconds remaining in the game.
Last time they called timeout, they tried a funky trick play. I don't think that's in the works here, but you run a player out late. So probably want to make sure everything here is clean. And you'll be able to get out of here with a positive play to end the game.
You got to look for something positive if you're a Riverview coach. So the scoreboard says 3rd down, but the down marker, the official down marker, says 4th down.
Yeah, it is 4th. They're in a punt formation.
Wow, got a good punt
punt's
off,
away. And it'll be checked up, say, about the 35. That clock's going to wind. I don't think we'll see another play here.
Yeah. It looks that way. I thought Philo might have had to run one play because the play clock, the game clock was about 6 or 7 seconds ahead of the play clock, but they're just going to go ahead and call this one. And Going to have our handshake line at the 50-yard line, and Philo's going to move to 3-1. Black Bears drop to 0-4.
Still searching for their first point of the season as they head on to their next week. But right now, final score 49-0. The Electrics winning here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. And we will step aside with a post-game show coming right around the break. You're watching high school football right here on South 60 Films. Game show. Once again, the final score here, 49-0 for the Philo Electrics. You know, you look over at the Black Bears side. There's some positive plays, a couple missed chances with ineligible men downfield, you know, a couple drops on their possessions, but some creative play calling that we saw. What are some positive takeaways if you're the Black Bears?
I mean, the fact that they showed up and played 4 quarters and didn't give up, I would say, because, you know, it's hard to keep teenagers engaged in the process when you're not only are you not winning games, you're not scoring points. So it's very deflating, especially for young people, to keep them, like I said, engaged in the process. You coming back day after day after day, but they keep doing it, so you got to applaud their effort at a minimum.
Looking at the Philo side, they were able to air it out a little bit more here this week as compared to weeks past, but still got it down on the ground. Where do you think that goes, just being able to see some of those completed passes, the passing touchdowns, and really the passing attack from this Philo offense tonight? What do you think that could bring in terms of more balance as the season moves on?
They certainly came out of the gates aggressive tonight in the first quarter, and you know, they were throwing the ball around in different varieties, short routes, screen routes, deep routes. They were really mixing it up well. And to answer your question, I would likely say they know they're going to need to throw in some different looks to keep teams off balance going down the road when they still have John Glenn, Sheridan, Tri-Valley on the schedule. So they got some very, very tough games in the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. So that would be my best guess as Coach Linscomb is trying to get his kids comfortable at doing more than what they've been successful at, which is running the ball.
Yeah, it was great to see more balance here tonight and what they were able to bring offensively. One more note here on the Philo defense. You pointed it out when the play happened, that little flea flicker reverse kind of play where they had a man downfield, defended well.
Yeah.
What do you think a play like that will bring as you look forward into these bigger matchups as they play later on in the year?
You talking from Philo's standpoint?
Yeah, from the Philo defense.
I think when you see a play like that as a head coach and you see each level of your defense react properly and stay at home and be in the right position to defend that particular play, that makes you very happy as a head coach, because those are the hardest plays to diagnose because they kind of come out of nowhere. But Philo defense, they all reacted perfect on that play and really kind of threw off the timing of it, and ended up being an incomplete pass.
So for Coach Lincecum, that's his 94th win. He keeps inching his way closer to a school record held by Sam Hatfield in terms of the win total here at Philo, and a lot to look forward to in terms of that and what he's been able to build here with this program. Riverview again falling to 0-4 on the year. The Philo Electrics moving to 3-1 after this win. They'll wrap it up here from Sam Hatfield Stadium. The Electrics with a 49-0 win over the Black Bears. Tune in next week. West Muskingum takes on these Black Bears as they still search for their first point, and West M could be searching for their first points in a week after trailing against New Lexington. Come back next week. We've been watching high school football right here on South 60 Films.